Let's go! Not over.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots. With me, as always, is my good friend, sidekick, Johnny C., creator of Sartana and Surrounded by Death. What's up, bud? How's it going?
Dude, first, it's Wednesday, so you know what that means.
Yes.
And two, they tried to stop us, but they couldn't.
What a night, dude. What a night.
Between work was a nightmare for me today. And yesterday was sucked work-wise, and then just the heat and the weather and everything is bananas, and then the power goes out for you.
Yeah. Now, did you lose power at all today, or did you have any?
Well, so far I haven't.
Okay.
Knock on wood. Hopefully, I don't lose it at some point tonight. But so far we're good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so
I'm glad you found time in your day today to do a little bit of this.
Yeah,
this
dude,
is
definitely.
Sweet.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like it.
Dude. We haven't even really got to talk about it in person, but I fucking love this.
Do you? Okay.
This. Oh, dude, I'll have to talk it over with the other guys. I'm sure they'll love it too, but I love that.
I'll send you like the PNG and the JPEG and all that stuff. Feel free to use it, whatever you want to do with it. It's yours.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
Thank
so
you.
what I was going to say is, yeah, you're welcome. So right around 5:30, I had a half hour left to go before I'm out of work. I'm in the middle of a call. Boom. Lightning storm comes in like a bat out of hell. Everything's gone. Like I was in the middle of helping a customer try to find their lost order. So they're probably pissed because I never called them back.
Well, everything was gone, right? Everything went out.
I couldn't do anything. So, and then, so I immediately texted you, and then I messaged the guests tonight and let them know that tonight's looking a little sketchy. At first, we got a text from the power company saying, "Oh, power will be restored by 7:45." So we were like, "Oh, let's go get some dinner. We'll come home and maybe it'll be back." Then we finished dinner, and all of a sudden we got a text saying it's not going to be restored to 10:15. And I'm like, "Uh-oh." Yeah. But, around 8:30 or 8:40 or so, we got a text that the power was back. So I raced home, and I was like, yes, we can do it. Because we haven't, honestly, in the whole year we've been doing this, we haven't missed a date. We haven't had to postpone.
Yeah, no, we haven't postponed or canceled. I've had to dip out, but
the show went good. Yeah, the show still went on, So
yeah, absolutely.
I was kind of pissed that if we had to dip out tonight, I was gonna be, oh man,
breaks the streak, bro.
Yeah, right. Well, I know you have a hard out at 10 tonight, so we're gonna try to wrap up by 10 tonight. But I definitely want to bring, get into our guests right away too. Yes. I also, before we go, I also wanted to mention, like a project that I am a part of that I just found out about. I showed it last night. I'm going to be doing, hang on, let me try to find it here real quick. I'm going to be doing lettering.
I was just going to say, while you're bringing that up, meanwhile, hello to the chat. Everybody, Ginge Gingerton, I see you're in there.
Yeah, Ginge. That's he's the one that I'm going to be doing some work for. If I can find the stupid link here, hang on. I'm looking for it. Talk amongst yourselves here.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I just want to thank everybody for watching a second night in a row.
Yeah. We try to avoid stuff like this, but it definitely, we definitely end up.
We do it a lot.
We do it a lot, but it's not on purpose. It's to help people out. It's because everyone has a lot of campaigns going, and our show's going strong. We're getting more subscribers every week, and I think people know the power of promotion. So before we bring in tonight's guest, I want to share the video for this project that I'm part of called Spells and Superheroes. Oh wait, no, it's Spells and Superheroes. So it's basically Dungeons and Dragons if superheroes were involved in it, So it looks really cool. It looks really fun. Gingerton is a good guy. His name's Mark. So I wanted to show the video real quick so everybody can see this.
That video is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's really well animated by Pedro Casito. He's an awesome animator. So here we go.
I've been watching in the shadows, waiting, biding my time to make sure you were worthy. And now it begins. Foxman, Zoo Girl, Tricolors, Madam Magic. You fools think you can stop me? You never had a chance!
Spells and Superheroes.
Awesome. That looks just like a lot of fun.
That animation is great.
Yeah,
too.
it's really good. I
it.
can't wait to see the finished book so that I can start lettering it. So if you guys like seeing that, please sign up. It's on pre-launch right now, so they're looking to get some people, to back the campaign early. All right. So without further ado, I'm looking forward to getting to know these guys. I saw their project on Indiegogo. It's called the Cryptidnals, I think.
Okay.
Looks very cool.
Yeah, I'm going in completely cold, so I'm gonna learn all about it here. This is a completely new process for me.
Yeah, definitely. And these guys are part of, I think the company's called 656 Comics. So I definitely want to look forward to getting to know both of these guys. All right. So without further ado, first we got Oliver. Hey, Oliver, welcome to the show. How's it going, man?
Everything cool, man. So let me get this straight. Your electric company texts you to tell you when the power's coming back?
Yeah, can you believe that?
Dude, we get, I'm in Juarez right now, so it's like the northern part of Mexico.
Okay.
We get blackouts continually, and they don't say crap about it. We're going to get it back, so that's awesome, man.
I had not realized it. My wife was like, yeah, I'm getting text about it. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, Like, I can't believe it. And then, so let me bring in the second guy, Harry. How's it going? Welcome to the show. Awesome. Good to see you tonight, man.
You're muted.
I think you're muted.
There we go. I'm good
there
now.
There we go. Harry. Thanks for joining us, guys.
No, thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Before we get into the Cryptidnals, it looks like a really cool project, but I definitely want to get to know you guys a little bit. Like one of the first questions we always ask our guests is, influences. Like what was there like a comic or a movie or TV show that kind of put you on the path to creating your own comics? Was there something that inspired you, or was like, wow, I got to be part of this business? We'll start with Oliver, I guess.
Okay. Well, for me, it was pretty interesting because I got exposed to comics without knowing there were comic books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was big into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day.
Okay.
So my dad would take me to 7-Eleven, and that's where I would get the Archie adventure, the Archie comics, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I would buy them. I had my collection, and I would read them. I would take them to school. I would get in trouble with the nuns because you can take comics to school. You know how that is. And also I was big into Nintendo back then, so I would draw Zelda. I would draw all those characters as Link, Mario Brothers, all that, until I get into the 3rd grade. I met a friend of mine named Danny, and he was all into the Marvel scene. So he drew too, and that's how we became friends, because we knew how to draw, and he exposed me to comic books. Like, he told me, "Oh, this is Spider-Man. This is Wolverine. He's a badass. He's this Punisher, and Captain America." And I was like, "What is this, man? Go slow, man." and I knew how to draw then, so that's when I started to we could tell stories, no, with these characters, add backgrounds, add dialogue balloons, add sound effects, and that was pretty cool, man. And not until I took it seriously until when I was at 5th grade, I think. That's when, more or less, when Image became a thing, and Superman and all that. My brother, he exposed me more to comic books because he had friends in high school, and they cut class to go pick up the Death of Superman, because that was the big thing.
That's awesome.
That was on the news. Like, that was
I know. So that was really awesome.
News. It was wild at the time. People were buying it up. People who wouldn't buy comics at the time were buying them up, thinking this is like going to be gold in 20 years.
There was a lot of hype around that. I remember that. What'd you say, Oliver?
I'm gonna put my kids through college buying Superman, right?
So, not unless it's like a free college, because those things are like 50 cents now.
Community college. I'm putting it through community college.
And also, I got into Spawn, I got into Pit, all the Image guys. Nice. And not until I discovered Creed by Trent Kanuga.
Oh yeah, I'm dying to read that book.
Yeah, dude, I read it back in the day. I have issue 2 from Lightning Comics and the TMNT crossover.
Oh wow, okay.
So I got the book. I read it, and I found out that he was about around 16, 17 when he created his first comic, and I was like, wow, I could do that, man. That could be me, no? I'm around that age. I draw. I know how to do comics, so that's what inspired me to
go to the next level with it. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Funny story about nuns too. I had I went to Catholic school too, and it was in 2nd grade. I'll never forgive this nun. Like I was like way into the Wacky Packages cards, those stickers. And I remember I got two or 3 packs of them the night before. I brought them into school that day, and I was like so excited to go through them. The nun took them away and would give them back to me, and I still hate her to this day because.
Lucky for me, the nun that year was into the Turtles, so she was chill about it. Having comic books. So, but not the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And growing up, being the artist of the class, I would be asked from other classes, "Hey, come here and draw something," no? So it was kind of a curse knowing how to draw back then. And
right, because everyone went to you for something. And at the time, you don't know how to charge for anything, I know, so it's all free. How about you, Harry? What put you on this path to becoming a creator?
Oh man, it was Marvel Comics, of course. It was X-Men Inferno issue 242.
Oh wow, okay.
The first thing that I ever saw was Wolverine kissing Jean Grey. A friend of mine had the same experience, but that was the first thing I ever saw as far as comics were concerned. I went to 7-Eleven and I picked it up. I was like, what is this? Who is this? Why is this happening? And it was awesome, and I got into it. But I was like all, safe from the real stuff until about I think I was a freshman in high school, and I went to the flea market, and I found an issue of Faust for 25 cents, and I didn't know what it was. I picked it up. I started looking through it, and I looked around. I'm like, should I be looking at this? Oh my God, what's going on? Who did this? Why does this exist? Because it was so beautiful,
dangerous,
so,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So adult. I remember. Yeah,
exactly. And I was like, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that you feel a tingling inside your pants.
Yes.
When you watched it.
Yes. The spider sense was going on.
I was all like, am I having the sex right now? What's going on? It was crazy. And I got busted with it too. Like similar to Oliver's story. I took it to school and I got busted by my math teacher, and she's like, what is this? And they were like real like cautious because it had like a bunch of questionable stuff, paganism, Satanism, whatever you want to put in it, because Quinn and Vinzel were just crazy.
Yeah, I bet you were like, would they pull you to the side and want to call your parents after seeing that?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it, because I've seen copies of Tim Vigil's Faust. It's pretty out there.
Yeah, and I have my issues back here somewhere. Where are they?
Oh, nice. So you still have the very first
right,
comic.
They're all right there and stuff.
That's awesome.
But they pulled me aside. They're like, "Are you okay? Is there anything going on? What's going on in your life?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I want to do comics. That's it. But I want to do these kind of comics rather than the tame comics."
Yeah.
And that's what started it off. And I met a similar minded group of guys in high school, and we started doing comics in high school. And awesome. Oliver and his crew were kind of like paralleling us as we were doing our journey as far as creating comics. And we had heard about them because we're in El Paso and they're in Juarez. And Juarez is like, I could throw a rock and hit Mexico. That's how close we are. Yeah. And we started hearing about them as we're going on. I'm like, there's another group that does what we do and they're Mexican? What's going on? We felt offended. And it wasn't until years later that we met up. And by that time, like most of my crew had already gone on to other things, and I was still like trying to do comics and stuff.
How did you guys meet up? Was it at a convention, or did you guys just start talking?
It was at a convention, a local one, right?
Oliver loves telling the story. Go ahead, Oli.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
It was the first convention actually in Juarez, a comic book convention.
Okay.
And we knew about Ray. You were called Adversary Comics back then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw them, I think, on DeviantArt or Yahoo. What is it, Groups, or what's it called?
I think it was Yahoo Groups.
Yeah, Yahoo Groups. Okay. Yeah, we emailed them, hey, we're doing a convention. You want to hang out? We're going to come over? Yeah, we'll do it. And you guys arrived late, and you came in like rock stars, like you owned the place. And yeah, we were like, who are these guys, man?
I remember that shit, man.
What year was this? Just for the context, was it?
Oh man, what year was it? Like Yahoo Groups was still a thing, so
2001.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It was like 2001.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you guys have been around for a while too.
Like rock stars. That's the key word.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was in the '90s. Those guys were like freaking rock stars.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Mark Liefeld was on freaking billboards in Calvin Klein jeans. Like, what the hell? These guys were comic creators.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
And they robbed the show because. How many were you back then? Like 5?
We're like 4 or 5 of us back then.
Yeah, all artists. They set up a table and they were just drawing all during the convention. They would do like 11 by 17 pieces, right? I think I remember. And they had a line and people were getting these drawings, and no, man, that's pretty cool, man. No books to sell whatsoever, just draw.
Just drawing, yeah.
Pretty
people
much.
do that though, there's a lot of I see a lot of people at cons now that just are print guys or just artists that draw stuff. They don't even have a book, they just make their living that way, and it's nothing wrong with that,
There's nothing wrong with that, and it was interesting because we're just drawing. It was like live art, and these guys were all like, "What the hell? What's going on?" And we started talking to these guys, and they're like, "Yeah, we do comics," and we're like, "Well, we do comics too, and let's see your stuff." And they showed us their stuff, and we're like, "Well, we don't really have our stuff. We have it over there. We're just drawing today."
Was it like a little bit of a rivalry going on between you guys, or
it was friendly?
It was friendly.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was like friendly competition. But the thing is that after a while, the group that I was with, they kind of dissipated and did their own thing. And I was the last man standing. And I wasn't an artist. I was just a writer. And I kept talking to these guys, to him, his brother, everybody. And they're like, well, come over. We have a studio. Come over and check it out. So I would go to Juarez and check out their studio. And I would be in tears because that's exactly what I always wanted. I wanted the type of bullpen atmosphere that these guys had where everybody comes in and they work. It was an artist community and everyone's like producing. And I just fell in love with the idea, and I'm like, "Hey, can I like work with you guys or something?" And they're like,
"Yeah."
And they're like, "I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about it." But yeah.
Actually, he pitched us an idea because during that time we had a book called Infestación, which is a zombie book in the border, and it takes place in Juarez, right? So Ray came up with the idea. Hey, what if the zombie apocalypse spread out to El Paso, Texas? And I could write it from over here, our perspective.
Oh, so like two different perspectives of the story. That's a cool idea.
They said, "Yeah, man, that's a kick-ass idea," and that's how we started to collaborate.
Oh, awesome! So, what year was that you guys worked on your first project together? Was that recently or?
No, that was 2008, right?
Okay,
yeah, 2008.
It's about the time I started hitting conventions seriously for the first time around that time. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's really cool.
Really quickly, I just want to tell you that the little trailer that you had before the show, dude, that shit was awesome, man. I loved it.
Oh, thanks.
You know,
of the Mighty Mascots video.
Yeah, it gave me like all this like Blaster Master, Uncle Fester's Quest kind of thing. Yeah. It was really cool, man. I loved it.
Thanks, Harry. Thanks. I appreciate that. Well, the new storyline has video game villains, so I thought, like, why not make a trailer that has like a little 8-bit kind of look to it, you know? And it came out better than I ever hoped for. What's that?
Our next campaign deals with video games. So.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, let me take a look. Let me
make it big there. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, so what's that project?
It's called The Third Party. It's a project that I created with my brother Dominic.
Okay.
So that's gonna be more the next campaign we're gonna launch.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's gonna
have you guys back and to talk about that one once
definitely
going, you know.
Of course.
So now, so was 656 Comics? Did that come out of you guys getting together, or did that already exist?
That already existed. After the first convention, we were known as we had another name. We had another group, but we had a little disagreement, creator differences, just to not to say
what happens. Yeah.
At 2002, we created 656 Comics, and it was just me and my older brother, the writer, and we had another writer and another artist, and that's when we created the Infestation Saga, the zombie book, which we did a new one, which we fulfilled a couple of months ago.
Oh, cool!
This is not the book, but this is kind of like the spin-off to that.
Oh,
series.
Neat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I see it says Undead Border. Is that like the umbrella title?
Yeah, Undead Border is the umbrella title.
Cool.
Cool.
I love that.
How many books have you guys produced over the years? What's that?
We have over what? We have published over 30, I think.
Wow.
Copies and graphic novels.
You guys have been busy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The thing is they've all been in Spanish. So now we're trying to do the crossover, do the American, industry or the American, way.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think about it, if you just translate it, you have a whole other audience that you can tap into now.
Of course.
Especially with Indiegogo and everything. And I think the few projects that I've looked at the Cryptidnals real quick and that Infestation. I think that stuff would definitely appeal to a U.S. audience easily. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely, you guys bring that over here. Johnny has a zombie book too that he's
I got
he's going to be kickstarting. Very soon.
It's coming real soon. Yep.
Oh, cool.
It's basically like a cross between Mallrats and The Walking Dead.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So they're living up
That's a cool idea.
they're living up the zombie apocalypse in the mall. Like everything's cool.
Like it's not a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Like everything's show.
It's like more like Mallrats and Dawn of the Dead, no?
Yeah. So actually, Jeff Klein from Darby Pop, I slid him issue 1 of Surrounded by Death, and so usually when I pitch it, I go, "It's Mallrats meets Walking Dead." He read it and goes, "Oh, it's Breakfast Club meets Dawn of the Dead," and I go, "Jeff, we're dating each other right now in the sense that you came from the generation of the 70s and 80s, and I came from the generation of the 80s, 90s. You know, in terms of our comparisons."
Yeah. I can see it though, man. I'm curious about it. It sounds interesting. So, especially with the Mallrats reference.
Johnny, did you figure out before we go any further? Did you figure out a launch date yet? I know you're still tweaking everything. And
I'm scrambling to rebuild the campaign after my faux pas, and you can watch prior episodes to get caught up on that. I don't want to waste too much time, but I'm thinking it's going to be like in 2 weeks. So
2 weeks, okay.
Nice.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. And of course, we'll promote it here as well.
I'll go sign up. You have your campaign active right now, or it's in pre-campaign, right? So I can
go sign up. I don't know. Do you have it active as a pre-launch?
The link isn't active yet. No.
Okay.
There's not an active link yet. It's still kind of because I'm still building it. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, you guys could follow each other on Twitter, I guess, or
we'll link up on Twitter. That way, you guys can check it out.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm curious about the Cryptidnals.
Yeah, definitely.
Cryptids, cryptozoology. That's something. Sometimes I fall down that YouTube, Wikipedia rabbit hole. Sometimes, so I'd love to find out a little bit more about that.
No problem, man. If you guys are ready,
how did this project come about?
It's a lot of, honestly, like to be totally honest with you, it's a lot of experiences that I've had in real life.
Really? I want to hear these. I want to hear these.
I love this.
I'll explain the book to you, and then I'll get into that.
But I want to hear the real life stuff too, because that's
my family. My family was pretty fucked up. I'll just put it like that. But
can we curse?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
So the Cryptidnals is pretty much cryptids and criminals, and how society views cryptids as criminals. So it's put together. It's the Cryptidnals. It's monsters of myth, and they're fighting new cyber age type nightmares. So cryptids such as Bigfoot, La Llorona, Man Dog, the Denton, Texas Goat Man, even Quetzalcoatl, they're facing these new monsters that are appearing from cyberspace, like the Rake and Black Eyed Kids, and I don't want to say the Slender Man.
So is it like the classic? Is it like the classic cryptids versus like creepypasta kind of?
Yes,
shit?
exactly.
That's awesome. Great idea.
I love
That's a great idea.
I love that.
So the big bad is El Yango, which is our version of the Slender Man. Because I always thought Slender Man was kind of boring, some dude in a 3-piece suit in the middle of the woods. El Yango actually has like a good backstory. I'm sorry, whoever wrote the Slender Man, but yeah, he has a good backstory that makes sense. And what's happening is that they're encroaching upon this reality, and the only ones that can stop them is the cryptids that already exist, the Cryptidnals. And it's kind of like I don't want to say it's kind of like X-Men when X-Men was good, but it's more horror based. It's more horror driven, and it's very unsettling horror. It's not like just slasher horror. It's more unsettling type stuff that stays with you after you look at it or after you view it.
Okay.
So. If you want to play the trailer before we get into the rest of the description.
Let's take a look at the trailer. All right, hang on. Let me see.
Yeah, there we go. We got audio?
It should be going, right? Can you hear it?
I can't hear anything.
No,
can you guys hear it?
No.
No? Okay.
No audio.
All right, hang on.
That's okay. We can adjust that real quick, right?
Let me try it again. Hang on.
Yeah, reshare it because
stop sharing. Let's see.
Yeah. So while Keith's fixing that, talk a little bit more about it in terms of preparing the campaign. Kind of that pre-launch stuff.
I did a lot of research on this area. I've been doing research like I would say all my life, but like really, really nitty-gritty research I started about 2016. and just went on from there, and just gathering all this information. I've been drawing from real life events or real, cryptid history of historical events that actually did happen. There's a lot of references to, events that did happen that have been documented. Like if you go on YouTube, and you go down the rabbit hole, you'll start checking all this stuff out. And I needed an artist that could translate the creepiness and the weird factor to the script, from the script. And Dario Rodriguez, he's part of the 656 Comics. I approached him. I'm like, hey man, you want to help me out on this? I wanted originally to pitch it to Image or to Alterna or somebody. And he's like, yeah, sure. What is it? And I told him what it was. He's like, oh my God, I love that, because he loves drawing monsters and jacked up stuff. And the original pitch was very, very different from what we ended up with here. And that's because that's kind of because I went behind Oliver's back and I didn't tell these guys what I was working on with Dario. And then we sent it out to Alterna. It got lost, and we had to go back to the drawing board. And that's when I approached Oliver and said, hey man, this is what we've been working on. I'm sorry I didn't come to you. And Oli was like, hey, what the hell, man? I thought we were family. What the hell's
So did you guys hear anything from Pete, or is it just the pitch got lost?
It's when Pete had his issues that he got swatted. That's when
so this is like lost. A couple of years ago. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
So we went back, and Peter is now like a huge fan of this. He did back the book and everything. We've been on his show a few times. But we went back to the drawing board. Oliver was like, you got to get rid of this. You got to get rid of that. We argued about color. We argued about a bunch of different stuff. And this is what we came up with. So if you want to check out the trailer.
Yeah, let's see. So I checked share audio. So we should be able to hear it now. So let's try this again. All right, let's see.
In the dark recesses of cyberspace exists nightmare fuel we take as fallacy. But these tales and images are cursed through the power of belief. Tulpas, sentient thought forms residing in between the abyss of life and death. Their endgame is to destroy the only reality they know, ours. Only darkness can vanquish darkness, more rapid than the radiance of light. Enter the Cryptidnals, mythical beasts of unearthly abilities whose existence has been criminalized by humanity. First and only line of defense against the incursion of otherworldly evil. A secret war of monsters is about to begin.
Wow.
Dude,
that is
dope.
The art is incredible.
Love
Very when I just seen the line work there, reminds me of Bernie Wrightson a lot. Is that one of your influences?
I got those vibes for sure.
Yeah,
especially the horror stuff he used to do. Is that definitely? Yeah, I mean, I could see it. This looks great. I'll definitely be backing this. I think I told my wife that I want to get this, so you'll either see me or her back this, like either tonight or tomorrow.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on in the campaign, and Dario is a big fan of Bernie Wrightson, Junji Ito, Gustav Dore.
Oh yeah, I can see Junji Ito in there.
And
too.
Also, I don't know if you guys remember Savage Sword of Conan. You remember Ernie Chan? He was an artist back in the day that would draw Savage Sword for Marvel. And Dario, he's been channeling that a lot as well. And he's loving it, man. We're having a great time doing the book. It's great to see my story coming to life. I mean, Dario is considered the co-creator of the book because of the imagery that he's putting forth in the pages and stuff.
That's fantastic.
It is a wonderful blend of influences. You can see all of it there. Everything you listed, especially Junji Ito, I definitely got a little bit of the vibes there,
Even the painted image you have on the video here, the video
that's awesome.
Very cool stuff. Let me just look through the campaign really quick. Is there I see you guys have the featured one. Is that the one you would recommend people to check out?
Of course.
Yes, definitely.
You get a sketch as well. That's cool. So now, Oliver, would you be the one that's doing the sketches as well?
No, dude. I don't want to say just, but I am the letterer for the project. Also the
editor and letterer,
and the
more like it.
Okay, I got you. So you're sort of like maybe the coordinator, the project coordinator, kind of, or the editor. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. And the sketches would be by
Dario. Yeah, the artist of the book is Dario Rodriguez.
Okay.
So he's in charge of the art.
And he's going to do the sketches if people want to claim one of these. This is awesome. That's great. So now, do you get all 3 versions of the book? Is that what you get in this?
It's they're 3 different covers, so that's
Gotcha. So you get all 3. That's really cool. And I saw that it's like 132 pages. That's crazy.
Big book. Just so you know, guys, once we hit in demand, those extra covers are going away. So
really? So it's limited.
Everybody
has how many days are left?
Take advantage.
4 days left to get.
4 days left. So those are going to be exclusive, essentially. So
is this the main cover?
Yeah,
right
that's
here?
the main cover.
That's the cover that will remain. It's the other 2. Let me take a look. I really like this one. This one's really
one's beautiful. Yeah, I love that Mothman.
That cover was drawn by. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it reminds me of Man Thing a little bit too.
I can see that with the eyes. Yeah, definitely. And this one's really
drawn
nice.
by. I'm sorry,
the Mothman cover was drawn by Raymond Gay. He's an up-and-coming artist right now. He's done a lot of variant covers for The Last Ronin for IDW, and he's from El Paso. Yeah, and I managed to snag him, and he's like, "What do you want me to draw?" And I'm like, "I want you to draw cryptids." He's like, "Can I draw the Mothman?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, man, draw the Mothman!" And this is a homage to X-Men 252. Which is the cover where Wolverine is crucified on the X, and that's what I came up with.
Wow,
I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Fantastic. So here's the link, everybody, in the chat. My wife put it up. Check out the campaign. And like I said, these 2 covers we're showing right now are limited to the campaign. They're only going to be available for 4 more days.
Yes.
And then the only cover you'll be able to get is this one, which is a nice one as well. But I mean, I think this is the one. This one's really nice.
That's the beautiful one.
I love that. This one's great too.
Oh,
especially,
God, I love it.
I mean, it's a hard choice to make. I mean, these are.
That one was drawn by Aurelio Mazzara. He's an artist for Marvel. He's done a few like trading cards and some other books.
Oh, really?
For Marvel. He's a good friend of mine. He lives in Italy, and he wanted to draw also a cover, so I got him. He also is the concept artist for the movie Psycho Gorman. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, that movie was awesome.
Yeah, we both. Yeah.
Oh, I watched that movie like blitzed out of my mind at 2 a.m., which was like perfect. It was perfect. Oh man, I love. I think
very
about that movie
80s,
at least once a week. Yeah,
Aurelio was so thrilled to do a cover that he wants to do a cryptid book too, and we're actually working on a concept for another cryptid book.
I have a friend who's writing a movie for that studio that did Psycho Gorman.
Nice.
So, so I'm curious to see. He's working on it now. You know how Hollywood is, though. It's like, is it going to go forward or not? But it sounds like it's happening, so it'd be interesting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see some more stuff from that studio. Interior art is great too. I mean, look at these pages. So
beautiful.
Question: is this gonna be a colored book or is this black and white?
No color.
No color. All right.
Color.
Because I actually think it looks better this way.
Color would be a disservice. No, leave it in black and white.
I think this reminds me of the creepy magazines and stuff like that. I love it. I love black and white when it's done really well, and it's really done well here. I mean, this is great stuff. I mean, just look at these monsters. The poses are awesome. The rendering is great. I can't say.
We really downplay the human aspect in the story. Like, there's not a lot of human interaction. It's just the monsters, and it's more told from the monsters' perspective. The humans that do appear, they're more monstrous than they are human. So like La Llorona, stuff like that. That's a Mexican cryptid.
This page is great with the black-eyed kids.
The black-eyed kids.
Great. There's some great there are great comments in here. Let me just take a look. Rogaru is one of my faves. Now what is that? I'm not familiar with that cryptid.
I remember Rogaru from Supernatural.
Now what is it, Johnny? I'm not.
TV show. So I don't remember though. I remember the name from Supernatural. They might have to remind me a little bit.
Rougarou is a werewolf. It's based in the Louisiana area, Louisiana Bayou type werewolf and stuff. We actually do have a Rougarou in the story as well. So,
awesome.
Cool.
Julius, hey Julius, good to see you, man. Good to see you here. Don't back this; it's cursed.
The ghetto dragon in the house.
Run away!
Run away!
That's awesome. Kirk George says, "Love the black and white."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I absolutely agree 100%. I do not care for hunky boys, or do I? I don't know what that means.
That's from Psycho Gorman.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I missed that reference. All right, yeah, perfect. I mean, this guy's. You have the cast right here. This is awesome.
Some of the cast,
some of the cast. So there's more in here. Okay,
yeah.
Man Dog, La Llorona, Kid Cthulhu.
Awesome. Cthulhu makes an appearance too. That's awesome.
That's
Black Eyed Kids.
I just received those pages, John, where Cthulhu appears. Damn, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, that whole the scene where Kid Cthulhu shows up, that whole stuff. Dario just blew it out of the water on that, man. And
yeah, this is great stuff. So now, is this a standalone graphic novel, or do you guys have plans beyond this?
We have plans beyond this, but this is standalone. Like, you get the whole story, everything that happens in this book. Of course, we leave ourselves a little wiggle room at the end so that we can do something later on. A lot of people have been asking if there's going to be spin-offs because some of the characters are very popular, like the Man Dog, especially. Okay. He's kind of like our version of Wolverine because of the stuff that we put him through and the way that he like acts around the rest of the characters. So everyone's very interested in the Man Dog possibly having a spin-off, and we're looking into that.
I saw that you had something right here. Is this like a different book?
Yeah, it's a supplemental. And during our
tenure,
thank you, Ray. We did some few Man Dog stories, like one-offs and preview books and all that. So we collected them. We're gonna collect them and offer them as a supplemental book.
I like it. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. I mean, this dude looks awesome.
That's the cover by Preston Acevedo did that cover.
Oh, okay. I've seen Preston's work. He's really good. Did you get this with if you back the book?
Yeah, those are stretch goals that we already unlocked. So once you back the book, you're gonna get this included in your order.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
And is this part of it too? It's like
the Monster Moment scrapbook, the Creature Apocryphal, which is a sketchbook with behind the scenes stuff by the Rodriguez. Yeah, you're getting all of that.
That's awesome. You can add on a sketch too. Yeah. Now, will Dario do a sketch of whatever anyone wants, or is it a character from the book?
Yeah, it's based more on the book. It's
okay, so you pick a character.
Yeah.
Or does he randomly send you a sketch?
Yeah, it's just random.
It's just random. Okay.
Yeah, but it's gonna be beautiful, man. So.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, just even looking at this one, I'd be happy to get it. You know. There's a couple other comments here too. What is it? Accept Cryptidnals curse with glee.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah. The Florida man is my state's official cryptid. Yeah, I've heard of the Florida
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Julius says, I can't wait for this book. I'm especially more excited for Man Dog. Yep, I mean, both look awesome. I can't wait.
My payment's processing right now. Put it that way.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure my wife backed this. So if you see a backer from Amy, that's my wife. I want to make sure one of us is getting this. So we team up on
you over.
Yeah, right.
I'm one. Believe me.
Me and my wife team up on a lot of campaigns because there's so much good stuff out there. So. Like if I'll back some things and she'll back some other things, and then we kind of share our books back and forth.
Cool. That's awesome.
But yeah, so now I want to hear the real life stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, I want to hear the real life stuff with cryptids.
The thing that started off everything was when I was 12 years old.
Kind of sparked this idea.
The thing that sparked everything was when I was 12 years old. I kind of had an encounter with the only thing that can describe it as is La Llorona.
Really?
La Llorona is very popular around this area, on the border, California, New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Llorona story or not.
I'm not, but I remember that there was that movie that came out like a year ago, and I work with a girl from at my day job from Venezuela, and she told me that that's like a big thing in Venezuela too. And I'm like, oh, really? I never saw the movie, so I don't know. I don't know if it's like a ghost mother or something, right? Like
yes, it's weird to describe her because she's considered a ghost, but she's also considered flesh and bone because, La Llorona originally was a woman that was scorned. I'm just going to give you the 5 peso version.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It was a woman that was scorned by a man because she wanted to be with him, but she had children. So she turned around, drowned the children in the river, came back to the man and said, hey, I can be with you now. And he's like, why would I want to be with you? You're a murderer. So she felt, remorse. She went back to the river, drowned herself, but death rejected her. And so she's cursed to wander the earth for all eternity, searching for her children. It's kind of like the Banshee motif, right? She's connected to the water. You see her, you hear her scream. But La Llorona has the ability to come and take your children. So it's a cautionary tale that's told to us when we're growing up that if we go out or we misbehave or we don't listen to our parents, La Llorona will come and take us because we're children that are misbehaving and we're not paying attention to our parents. So growing up with that around this area, especially with the river being like right there, we were always fearful of this. And when I was about 12 years old, my sister and my brother-in-law, they lived out in the boonies of what I consider the boonies of El Paso. And he invited me over one weekend to check out the Playboy channel. He's like, hey, I got a satellite dish. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. And my sister told my parents.
See these hoops.
Yeah, exactly. And back in the day, if you had a satellite dish, you had to wait till a certain time of night in order to get
before it switched on. I remember trying to watch it through the static, and then once in a while the picture would come in for a second, and you'd be like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I was excited, man. I was ready to go.
You just get the credits or something.
Yeah,
right. I saw a boob. I know I saw a boob.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I went over to their house, and the way that their house was built, it was a perfect square. It had been built out of the garage that was connected to the main house. The main house was his mom's house. And as soon as you drove up into the driveway, and the reason I'm describing this to you is because it comes into play later. So as soon as you drive into the driveway, it's like these huge cinder blocks and a solid oak door right in the middle. Okay. You walk in, and immediately to your left, there's a door that leads out to the backyard and the dogs. Behind that, there's a rock wall. Behind that, there's an irrigation canal, and then nothing but cotton fields.
Okay.
And when you walk into their house directly, there's a living room, there's a kitchen on the side, and then directly to the back, there was the main bedroom with a big window that would look out onto those cotton fields. So I showed up, it got late, we ate pizza, we're hanging out in the living room, and there was 2 couches, that were kind of L-shaped against the walls. And then around midnight, that's when the Playboy channel kicked on. We started watching it, and I fell asleep. My brother-in-law and I fell asleep. My sister was asleep with the kids in the back. I would say around maybe 3 a.m. Of course, it's got to be 3 a.m., right?
Yeah.
I woke up, and there was this hard pounding on the big oak door, like boom, 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 boom. And I sat up, and I didn't bother looking at my brother-in-law. I thought he had locked himself out. So I got up. I went to the door. I was about to open it, and the dogs are going crazy. They're barking.
Oh,
and
man.
the door was open to the backyard because it was hot. It was like the beginning of summer, so it was kind of hot. And the dogs are going crazy, and the knocking keeps going on the door, really pounding. I'm about to open the door. My brother-in-law sits up from the couch, and he's like, whoa, 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 don't open the door. It's La Llorona. If you open the door, she'll come in here and take us all. And before I could react to him, I heard it. Whatever was behind that door started screaming. It started yelling, crying, whatever you want to call it, weeping. And it was just howling. And the dogs, they completely shut up. They were whimpering. They shut up. And this thing just keeps going. And I had this compulsion to open that door. I wanted to see what was behind it. And I was frozen, with my hand on the door handle. And it's going and it's going. And the thing that scared the shit out of me, and to this day, even when I tell the story, I've told it so many times, but every time I tell the story, I think about it, is when it took a breath between crying. It went like that. And that, oh man, that's just
you can still hear it. You can conjure up that sound. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
hear it.
fucking
You are
crazy. I'm getting like
genuinely
goosebumps
haunted by
listening
that.
to this. What's
Yeah,
that?
wow.
I'm
Genuinely
haunted.
Yeah.
I am haunted
Oh,
by that. And what ends up
God.
happening? My sister comes out of the back and she's like, "Oh, it's happening again." I'm like, "What do you mean again? What are you talking about again?" You know? And she's like, "Get away from the door and come sit down. Just get away from the door." Hard Pony may have been just some street. It's possible.
But
Now that I think about it,
Confused.
but anyways, yeah. So what was she
I
saying?
managed to peel away myself from the door, and I went and I sat down, and the thing kept going, and then finally it stopped. And when it stopped, this super intense bright light came in through the cracks in the cinder blocks under the door. I compared it to daylight. That's how bright it was. It was just streaming into the room, and then it kind of faded, like real weird, like it just dimmed out, and then the dog started barking again. And I turned and I looked at these guys, and I'm like, "What the fuck just happened? What the hell was that?" And they're like, "Don't worry about it. Just go to sleep. We'll talk about it in the morning." And I'm like, "There's no way I'm gonna go back to sleep."
Yeah, how
now.
can you sleep after that?
Yeah, but they were very nonchalant. They were just like, "Yeah, just roll over, go to sleep," and they went back to sleep. And I'm like, "What the hell just happened?" The next day, I asked them, "What happened? What was that?" And they refused to talk about it. Like, "Don't worry about it. Just let it go. Don't worry about it." It took years before I asked them again what it was. And now looking back on it and talking about this so much, it started coming, I started dredging up all these memories. So they were into some stuff, because I remember going to their house and seeing, like, I don't know, occult symbols. There was books. That was the first time that I ever read the Satanic Bible, the Necronomicon, stuff like that. They had all these books and all this stuff. And now talking about it, it kind of starts clicking. And when I was about 18 years old, I asked them, like, "Hey, remember that time? What the hell was that?" And they're like, "It's La Llorona." That's what it was. It was La Llorona. We didn't want to talk to you about it then because we didn't know how you would react to it. We would witness it all the time. We had seen her in the backyard. My sister had seen her. All this crazy stuff. And I'm like, what
so
the
do you
hell?
think like she was attracted to that house because of that kind of stuff, maybe?
Because of the Playboy channel?
Yeah, like because they were
because
into the
of the
occult and all that. And like it's funny how it was like no big deal because it probably happened every night, to them or whatever. Like it was like,
they're
just her.
Casually haunted.
Because it's funny. I had a friend of mine that had like a ghost in his house, and it was sort of the same thing. Like he told me, and this freaked me out from the story he was telling me. He would tell me that like every night, like it'd be about 3 a.m. Like the clock would just literally be changing from like 2:59 to 3, and all of a sudden he would like be, like wake up like with like adrenaline had hit him, and then like as soon as the clock hit 3 o'clock, he would hear somebody running up and down the stairs outside his room for like 2 minutes, and it's like, what the fuck, And then
That's
like
bizarre.
he said after about a year of it, he's just like, yeah, whatever, let's get it over. You know what I mean? It was like no big deal because you just get used to it. And I'm like, not me, man. I'd be like down 10 blocks by 301.
I think we've all had just like, and it's like, can you say that you're haunted, or is it just like you can't explain what it is, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's a lot. I mean, I've had 2 instances in my life where it's just, I can't explain. One of them was like a missing photo from that was hanging on a wall that was just gone. Like it's just gone. Like nobody was around to take it. It just disappeared, and then it eventually resurfaced in a. It was like a bin somewhere where like nobody would have ever thought to put it there. Weird shit like that. You can never explain it. It's just that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Bizarre stuff like that. And then the thing is that kind of opened up the door, because after that, whatever it was that I experienced kind of followed me home. My parents' house,
really?
They were very, very like, these people should never have been together. And if they were together, they should have gotten divorced a very long time ago. And they were into some stuff. I know they were into some stuff because of things that I would find around the house, especially my mother. And whatever it was that happened at my sister's house kind of opened the door, and it followed me back home. And I would see shadow people. I would witness things, and I would hear voices. I would hear chains dragging outside the house. The only thing I can describe it as is like negative shadow people. They were like white shadow people. Like when you look at somebody up against like a dark wall and you see the halo around them, I would witness that all the time at the house, at my parents' house, because my parents were always very negative to each other, and it created this environment of intense negative energy. They brought a priest over to the house at least 5 times when I was growing up to bless the house because they thought it was the house, and it wasn't. It was them.
Wow. So even your parents were experiencing this stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
My mother was deathly afraid, and this is the jacked up part. My mother was deathly afraid of being betrayed by my father, but at the same time, she didn't love my father the way my father loved her. It was weird. It was like a possession.
Like a weird, kind of toxic relationship.
Yeah,
and
it was
just
extremely
like
toxic.
Wow.
And she would do certain things. She was into some stuff because I would find objects around the house that just didn't belong there. Things would happen that she would ask me to do for her that were just like bizarre, like witchcraft type stuff. So all this stuff just kept just amplifying over the years. At night, I would see the shadow people. They would swarm in my backyard. They looked like sharks, just swarming around the backyard.
Really weird.
It was weird, man. I always describe it as venom. The way that venom moves, that's the way they would move over the wall, around the house and stuff. Very crazy stuff.
That's wild.
Yeah.
How about you all? Do you have any supernatural experiences that you can share?
Yeah, me either. I never had anything happen to me, but I believe in all of it.
My brother and sister, they would see shadow people, but usually when we move stuff around the house, like cleaning or moving boxes and that stuff, supposedly energy gets disturbed and things appear around. So I guess they don't like that. They don't like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, one time we cleaned the whole house, and next day they were starting to watch things like peer around the corner, like they just would show their head and hide back, and that's
some spooky stuff.
That's some spooky shit.
I don't know if you've seen those videos on YouTube or TikTok when they like encounter shadow people. That's the most scariest thing.
Oh yeah,
something peering out through the corner and like heading back. That's like creepy, man.
Yeah,
the door wasn't sharp, bro.
Exactly.
Yes, occult things can be an invitation for sure.
It was crazy, man. My wife experienced stuff there. My friends would show up to pick me up, and they refused to pick me up at night because they would see stuff outside. And these people are like, I don't believe in shit. And then they go to my house and be like, I'm never coming back to your house again. And it was nuts.
That's crazy.
How many times have I gone to your house, Ray? Like 2 times, 3 times?
Yeah, you guys went a few times.
Yeah, but I didn't notice anything, man. I guess I don't have that third eye open or whatever, no? Because I didn't sense anything.
Exactly.
Or maybe something happened, but I was like, not noticing it, or
you're very grounded. I've noticed that you're very grounded. You don't when something happens, you have to have like an explanation for it, and that's what grounds you.
My wife says she hears weird noises at night all the time, but she's pretty sure it's just me.
My wife says the same thing. What's going on? Oh my god. Somebody in the chat mentioned that the coast to coast thing. In the campaign itself, going back to the campaign real quick. In the campaign, we have a Monster Moments book, and that book is kind of like an add-on. It's part of the stuff that you get when you back the campaign, of course. But there's Monster Moments, which are like photo evidence of the cryptids, and along with that, there's an MP3 that you can download. And when you download an MP3, it plays kind of off the whole Coast to Coast AM type thing, where people are describing their encounters with these things, and it's going to be a recording that you can actually listen to more immerse you more into the world of the Cryptidnals.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of stuff. It's almost like when you used to get those books and records, with the comic and stuff like that. Yeah, that's great. Great idea.
So, I have to dip out, guys, but I just want to take a moment to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your work. It was just awesome to experience this book. I just backed the campaign. Can't wait to get it. Please, guys, come back in the near future.
Yes,
for sure.
Definitely.
And I was just going to leave it with this. My favorite cryptid is the Dover Demon from Dover, Massachusetts.
Oh,
so
he's in the book. Hey.
Oh, he's in the book?
Yeah, we have a bunch of different cryptids. Dude, we even have a jackalope in there. There was many cryptids that we could stuff in there.
Awesome.
You must have the Jersey Devil, right? The Jersey Devil's in there.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. Well, again, thank you guys so much for coming on, taking the time. Appreciate it. Peace out, everybody.
All right, Johnny. See you next week. All right, guys. Yeah, and actually, you know what? Let me bring the campaign up one more time. Let's see if we jump the numbers at all. Yeah, went up a little bit at least.
Awesome.
Are you guys? Yeah, you guys are way past your goal, so that's awesome. So this book's definitely happening, and you guys are going in demand. You said?
Yeah, we're gonna go in demand for a little while until we get the book printed, and then cut it off.
Awesome. How far along is the book?
We're halfway there, no, Frank?
Yeah, a little bit more than halfway there. Dario keeps working on the pages. Finishing up the last part of the script of the ending of the book, and we're ready to go, man. The only thing that's going to take some time, of course, is just the formatting, and Oliver's going to letter it, but he's a quick letterer, so we'll be done with it hopefully by December.
Very cool. Very cool.
One more thing that Javier just reminded me, at 200 backers, we're going to include a piece of artwork randomly in one of the orders. So
really? So that's really cool. So anybody backs this, they may get a random piece of artwork. That's awesome. Out of the 200 people, so you're just gonna randomly pick a name, and then that's where the artwork goes. Yeah. Is it a page from the book, or is it more?
It's a sketch. It's gonna be a sketch.
It's gonna be a sketch. Okay. Yeah. Are you guys selling pages from the book? Is Dario selling pages?
Yeah, we have 10 pages available. I think we already sold 3 of them or 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the Man Dog. We already sold that.
$200. That's not bad for a piece of original art. That's actually really good.
It's cheap, man. It's cheap.
Yeah, for his stuff. I mean, these are nice black and white pieces. That's really cool. Awesome, man. And so I saw that you guys also have a YouTube channel. How's that going?
It's going, man. We're having fun with it, man. We're currently doing the El Paso Iceberg. Which is a collection of creepy stories and fun facts creepy facts, more or less, of El Paso, Texas.
Of El Paso.
Yeah, so we're what is this, part 10 or?
I know, man.
Oh, so you guys are finding like the occult stuff in the area and trying to. That's cool.
We can't finish the list because we get sidetracked. We expand and all that, and.
That's good though. It keeps the content flowing, you know.
We were doing that. We were doing that one about the organ trade, about the illegal organ trade in El Paso and Juarez, and we just spent like an hour talking about that last time. Man, it was crazy. So yeah, we get sidetracked a lot. But if you want to check it out, tune in, or the other episodes where we talk about this craziness.
Yeah. What's the YouTube channel called? So if people want to check it out.
The private chat, so you can share it.
Yeah. Let me share it out. And so,
then the channel's more like our stories, our experiences. Like also we comment on pop culture,
on the comics and stuff like that.
On right now,
yeah, great. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'm always looking for some content, you know. Especially like when I'm packing books or doing whatever, you know, working on lettering and things like that. Awesome. So I'm always looking for stuff to listen to.
Also, if you want to practice your Spanish, this is a good.
Oh yeah. Let me paste this in the chat.
Sometimes we go into Spanglish and all that. So
nice.
It's pretty fun.
And they make fun of me when I talk Spanish, man, because apparently I'm a gringo. I don't know what I'm saying, so it's like sorry.
It's better than me. I only know how to say "Como te llamas." That's it.
Hey, that's good enough. That's good enough. Oh man.
Oh, you see, I had it here. Hang on a second. Here we go. All right, let me cut and paste this. All right, perfect. Yeah, so we're a little over an hour, so we'll start to wrap up here. Let me share out the link for your YouTube, and then I'm going to share out the link for the Indiegogo as well.
Nice. Thank you.
And everybody out there, I implore you to check out this campaign and back it. Sounds awesome. Couple of great creators. This looks like a great comic. Totally worth your money. You're getting like a graphic novel size book with a cool subject matter, I believe, you know, and stories that are, you know, based from experience from the sounds of it. You know?
the Man Dog story, which Ray didn't talk about, that's a great story.
Yeah, the legend of the Man Dog.
Yeah, tell me about that a little bit. So that's one of the cryptids as well, but it's
it's one of the cryptids. Really quickly, the book is a whole story. It's not an anthology. A lot of people have been asking that also. It's a complete like story. There's no like different stories or anything like that. Everything
it's like a beginning, middle, and end as like a 24-page comic.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like he's sort of like a Western kind of character. Is that?
Yeah.
It looks like kind of like a cowboy a little bit.
So his backstory is kind of crazy. And this once again, I'm drawing from historical events that did happen. Back in the 1800s, there was a salt war here in this part of the country in El Paso and in Mexico. There's a salt flat that maybe about 50 miles away from here, and there was a village that straddled Mexico and the U.S. and the landowners used the villagers to get the salt and transport it to Mexico, the salt trade. Something happened where the villagers rose up against the landowners because they were being real cruel to them, and they murdered everybody. And what ends up happening is that the landowners, before that all happened, they called in the Texas Rangers, and the Texas Rangers showed up, and it's the first and only time in recorded U.S. history that the Texas Rangers were ever defeated in any sort of battle. The villagers took to them, killed all the Rangers, cut them up into pieces, and threw them down a well. And that well still stands in San Elizario to this day. Like, you can go down there and check out, the plaque and everything. One of the Rangers, they left him alive, and they said, because of the things that you've done, the atrocities, the cruelty, you are damned to walk the earth for eternity as a dog, never finding a home until you find redemption. And he turned into this thing, the Man Dog. So he's this cursed Texas Ranger that's walking around, the world trying to find redemption. And he has these two spectral pistols that have bullets in them that can destroy anything that's paranormal or supernatural. But
very cool.
The thing is, every time he uses a bullet, it takes away 1 hour of him being the Man Dog, and it reverts him back to being human. Now, the thing is, though, if he dies as a human before the curse is lifted, he's damned to hell for all eternity. So he has to be real careful when he uses those guns. And that's kind of like that's the backstory for the Man Dog.
I like that. It's very cool. So, and that's all covered in this like one shot, kind of goes into. That's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys get that free, right? With the wow. So if you back anything on the campaign, except I would imagine, do you guys even have a digital level? No. Yeah, no one does digital really nowadays.
I suggested it, but these guys were like, "Nah, we're not going to do digital." Like, okay.
Well, I don't know how popular it is. I mean,
yeah,
I
understand people don't want to pay shipping, right, overseas and all that. But I think we should like look into it how to offer an experience with digital, no?
Maybe down the road, or with a future campaign, maybe you can offer a ton of books to make it worth it.
Yeah, or look into like animating some panels or something.
Yes, to make it something worthwhile, get digitally, even if you have the regular book. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Kind of like what you did in the video, maybe. So
that'll be a lot of work, but yeah, that's kind of
right. Yeah, but then it would be worth it, and you could charge like $10 or more, for it, and then it would be worth it. All right. Well, this is awesome, gents. I was happy to meet you guys. Before we go, where can people find you? I guess maybe start with Harry and then go to Oliver. And like, if people want to follow you or keep up on the campaign, where can they go?
Twitter mostly right now. Of course, 656 Comics on Twitter. Cryptidnals. I mean, all the links are there when you go looking for 656. We even have a TikTok. We have a Cryptidnals TikTok.
Oh, do you?
Check it out. Mm-hmm. We do like little 60-second spots on cryptids or like weird paranormal stuff that happens in El Paso and stuff. But yeah, you can follow us on Facebook. Well, not me right now because I'm banned from Facebook. But you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and like I said, TikTok as well.
You're not missing anything on Facebook, anyways.
I added the TikTok address in the private chat.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, it's fun because.
Yeah, let me send it because I think my wife has a TikTok, so she's always watching stuff, and there might be other people that might be interested in that. So let me.
Yeah, Ray just started posting some of the iceberg stuff of El Paso, and it's really good, man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, TikTok is allowing you to post up 3-minute videos now, so I'm taking advantage and posting a little bit more information on the weird stuff that's happened in El Paso. So if you want to go
cool.
check it out,
that's probably getting people's attention. You know, people seem to love that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of podcasts and things like that about it.
Oh yeah, man. I just uploaded one about the El Paso Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot.
Oh, really?
In El Paso, yeah, it's called the Desert Ape, and I started researching. I found out all this information stretching back into the 1800s about cattle mutilations and all this other crazy stuff. Apparently, this desert ape is very, very aggressive, and it's a tribe of them, and they eat stuff. I supposedly they've eaten people too, so I don't know. Like,
you know, it'd be awesome if you guys did a version of this book in like the style of, remember those like Time Life books, like you know, those hardcovers. That would be kind of neat. Yeah. You know, the Cryptidnals, and it's like done in that style. I mean, kind of a neat idea.
I mean, we finished the whole saga and the spin-offs, maybe a collector's case.
Yeah, like a compendium or something. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Awesome. Cool. How about you, Oliver? Where can people find you if they want to follow you and check you out?
I'm at Twitter at Olie656. I have it here in my name tag.
Okay.
Also, 656 Comics at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, we're there. We hang around mostly for family and stuff. But
I find it's horrible for promoting though. It's really not good. You know, Twitter and Instagram seem to be the best places nowadays, I think.
Exactly.
But and YouTube. Actually, YouTube seems to be really good now too. But follow these guys. These guys are doing some good work, putting out some awesome comics. Are you guys doing any conventions this year, or are you guys taking the year off?
We want to wait until everything is back to normal. Once everybody's vaccinated and the borders are reopened.
Yeah.
We're planning on hopefully on 2022 hit the convention scene.
Awesome. Yeah. Do you guys ever get out of like the Texas, Mexico area to like New York or any of those kind of areas?
We went to Modesto, California 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
cool.
It was a Latino Comics Expo. It was
cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
We met a lot of great people there. That was our last big show, right, Ray?
Yeah, that was our last big show. Oh, we had a local show at one of the high schools. That was the last convention that we attended, but the last big show was the one in Modesto. Yeah. I've been wanting to go out to like New York and, you know, check out that stuff over there, man, because I think that'd be a whole different audience as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, telling you, like, I've been trying to get into San Diego for years. It's tough. I know Johnny goes, though. But I have been doing New York for the last 5 years. That's a great show. Even if you just go as a fan, like there's a lot of people to meet, a lot of, you know what I mean, a lot of stuff going on there.
There's a ton of shows in Texas that are big.
Yeah, I heard there's some really good ones in Texas, and me and Johnny often talk because we're up in the New England area, so we try to, because there's a lot of shows up in this area, but what ends up happening is you kind of get the same audience. So I kind of want to try to go and move out in the Midwest and try to get to other shows myself, you know, try and find more of an audience.
We want to do Texas, California, the southern part, because that's like easier to get to.
Yeah, right. Driving distance, you know. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about flying.
That was like hell driving up there.
Yeah, as soon as you add like a flight and a hotel, it's like your profits go. You know?
Or Arizona or Nevada, some place like 8 hours or at least 16 distance.
Yeah, something that's drivable within a day or two. Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
Yeah, Modesto was oh my god, it was a chore. We drove like 16 hours to get there. Like, oh, forget it, man.
Those 16-hour trips. I remember now.
Yeah, you have to swap drivers every 2 hours.
8 or 10 hours. That's like
it's doable.
Yeah,
even Texas, man. Texas is like 12 hours to get across Texas. It's like, oh my god.
Sitting in a car that long is just murder, you know.
Oh yeah.
And what was it, Dallas, right? In the summer.
Yeah,
Dallas in the summer. Oh man.
Maybe we'll see you guys at a show eventually at one of these days.
Hopefully
you know? So yeah, That'll be awesome. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. Sorry, Johnny had to jet early, but
okay,
you know, yeah, it was good. You know, we had a great conversation. I think you guys have a great campaign. So I hope our viewers take a look at it and consider backing it. And check these guys out. These are awesome creators, and they're worth your time and energy to check out. All right, everybody. That's it for this week's episode. Me and Johnny will be back next Wednesday. I forget who the guest is. I always forget. I have everything written down, but you know, it's like that's why it's not in my head, because it's written down. But I know we're back next Wednesday. So if you guys are out there, come back next Wednesday. We'll have another guest on, and we'll be talking more Indiegogos, more comics, more indie comics. You know, so thanks for joining us, and have a great 4th of July. You know, we'll catch you next week. All right, everybody. Good night.
Later.
Good night.